Alright, one Mountain Dew later, we're ready to keep moving. So, where we left off, we had this red box that we're dealing with. Now, you guys are probably familiar with that little red box. Whenever you hit that or see it on there, that means that there's more text in there than can fit. Now, there's options that we can use for this. Now, first of all, you notice that the little red box is down here on the bottom right-hand side, but there's also a box in the top left-hand side. So if I was to click that box right there, oops, not click and drag, click that box, you'll notice that I get this right here. Now this is the dialog to actually fit in the box wherever I'm supposed to fit it in to another place. Now, if I do that, oh, you had to do that, okay. If I click this top box right there, it's actually going to say what text box or what area previous to this is in this particular spread. This one is where is the stuff going to flow after this point. So the two right there, actually they do kind of work hand in hand, but for this one we're going to say where everything else is going to go. So I'm going to go ahead and click there. Now, actually, you know what, before I click there, let's go ahead and I'm going to do another text box, and I'm going to click and drag it out. I'm going to go ahead and resize this, oops, hit escape, put that up there. So I already have a blank text box there. Now, if I come up in here, let's hit escape, or at this point V, and click right here, and click that red box. Now you notice I can go ahead and I drag anything out right here, and I can drag it out and it shows up, whatever. Or if I go over this box that's already created, you'll notice that there's a little link symbol that changes to. What that would do is it actually links in all of this stuff to that box I've already created. Sometimes it's a little hard to create on the fly or whatever, so if you already pre-created it, you can go ahead and link to that blank text box. Now also the magic, here's where it happens. If I hold shift, there's a little flow symbol that happens. And this is telling it, you know, I want my text to flow to this one, and if we go over that one, flow to the next one, and flow to the next one, so on and so forth. What I'm kind of doing is setting a pattern for the computer to follow so that it'll keep doing that as much text as I have. Because if I did this and just linked it up and then it flowed over this page, I'd get that same little red symbol. So this one, I want to flow it. So I'm going to go ahead and click there, and oops, I totally forgot. I need to actually click up in the corner. So click there, and then we have everything in there. So now you might be like, oh, okay, Sam, that's not really all that important or whatever. But let me show you the really important thing that it did do. So right here, it doesn't look like much happened. But let's say I click this, and I needed to have half the page as a picture. So if I click and do this, now everything reflowed downward and pushed all that over, but it also flowed onto the next page. I didn't have to create the page, I didn't have to do anything like that, it automatically made it for me. But there is a problem. And this one, it's one of those things that it should follow patterns, but sometimes it just is really crazy like this. You'll notice that it's above that little marker right there, as well as it'll go down below that marker. And this one, the way that I found to fix that, let me go ahead and undo a couple steps, is instead of linking it to that, again, if you guys have a better way to do it, please do tell me. I just haven't had time to really delve into why it does that. But anyway, if you click on this and go ahead and hold shift, now there's no text box here, I deleted that. Hold shift and go to that flowing symbol, and let's go ahead and go up here and create our text box right there. So again, it doesn't look like anything happened until we come back here and move it, and we'll notice that this reflows. Nope. Oh really, you're going to be like that. Well, it's going to be a hater, and I am going to figure that out later. But it should flow that way. Anyway, let me go ahead, and instead of constantly doing that, I'm going to go ahead and bump this up to like an 18-point font. So then when that creates right there, and I'll go ahead and mess with that later. It should be making it, and that might also have to do with margins that I didn't set up at all. So anyway, I will get back to you guys on that problem, but for now let's just embrace it. But as you can see, it will go ahead and keep creating content and keep moving it down as best it can, and that's exactly what we want to do. Now for this part, literally I just went in and let me see, Finder, student desktop. I was trying to think what pictures I have on here. Yeah, we'll go ahead and put that in there. I don't know. Let's say right about there. We'll put Patrick in with me. And then another. Now, you can go ahead and drag out a box like there, like a placeholder, and place something into it. You can just go to place, whichever one you want to do. It really does not matter all that much. That was from a recent client. Let's see, elements, Rubicon. I don't know. Looking for something, but anyway, it really doesn't matter. Let's go actually some building photos that we had saw before with the school. And that one, oh, oops, I accidentally placed it on top of that one. So clicking off there we have that picture. Now let's just go with one more picture, and let's do it the official way. So I did it where I just clicked and dragged it onto there from the Finder window. I did click place, and then I clicked out here and placed it. Now I'm going to go ahead and make a box, and then click place. And we'll put, I don't know the name of the picture. Sure. Now with these ones, again, the easy way, right click, fitting, fill frame proportionately. Same thing right here. Let's go ahead and shrink it down just a bit. And let's even do it right over here in the very middle. It's more of an elongated shot anyway. So let's go ahead, fitting, fill frame proportionately. And it tried its best to do that, but we'll help it out just a bit. There we go. Now you'll also notice that there is nothing in there is actually fitting around it, meaning that the text is not wrapping around it, and that's really easy to fix as well. And again, this might just be a review for everybody that knows it. There's actually a window right up here, and it's called Text Wrap. I have kind of docked it over here on the side, but it's really rather easy. You can select even multiple things. Oh, it's not going to let me because it's on a different spread. And go ahead and just click it, and you'll notice that the text just wraps around. Click it, and let's go ahead and wrap the text. And the other thing I like to do is notice right here how everything's kind of bumping over. It's just kind of pushing it over just a bit. Just kind of giving it a little buffer. Same thing right here. Let's go ahead and wrap the text and then push it. And you'll notice just giving it a little bit of a buffer. Now that really doesn't look very good. I'm going to go ahead and move my picture down. Oops. Not that one. I don't want the brown one selected. There we go. The blue one. And is that? Yeah, it is. Interesting. Wonder why. Let's go ahead and fit to the extents right there. There's other ones that you can do, but I've never really had that issue right there. Oh well. We will deal with it. So, anyway, so that's right there. And then, same thing right here, we're going to go ahead, click it. Let's space it out just a bit. Alright, so now we have pictures and things, and, you know, we're starting to look more like a decent little book. So, anyway, let's go ahead and jump back over here to our main pictures, or to our main book cover or whatever. And honestly, just like I did in the example, there's really nothing really special about it. I'm going to go ahead and grab, yeah, I tried two different pictures or whatever. I like this guy personally, but I'm going to go ahead and just copy it from the other one. All I did was I went out to Google and I looked for like Screaming Baby or something and found it. But really, because this isn't for a client, we're not making money off of it. It's just for a class project, and I'm just trying to see what you guys can do with it. Feel free to use anything you want. Now, if this was for a client, there was any kind of possibility of making money, then I would say don't use it at all. Even though we're going to be able to put this in our portfolio and make money that way, kind of gaining popularity or whatever by it, it's still, this particular piece is not to make us money. We're not going to sell it. So that's why we're able to get away with that. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and paste in that picture over here. Let's go ahead and make him bigger. And also, this one, it's a review. I know I covered it in class, but when you have these windows, so there's a blue one on the outside, and then if you click again, there's a brown one on the inside. Now what that is the picture is bigger than the extent of the window that you have in there. So like this one right here, I'm trying to scale it proportionally, so I'm holding shift. So right here, let me go ahead and make it bigger, and there we go. Then the guy is right there. I want to bump it over more that way, but it's not big enough, so I'm going to go ahead and shift to scale it up just a little bit more. There we go. And I'm just being a picky artist at this point and just kind of placing them exactly where I want. Now, just like the other one, you'll notice that I have all that in there. So, oops. Let's go ahead and we're going to create a text box, side to side. And I'm going to go ahead and copy and paste.
1 o'clock.
It is 1 o'clock. As you guys notice, my computer, it likes to tell me on the hour. You guys can laugh at me, whatever. But I'm going to go back here and take the actual title from this page and copy, double click and go back to this page and paste it in there. Now, let's go ahead and bump up this. Let's just jump to like 48. There we go. Also, I want to go ahead and center it. Now, I do want to mess a little bit with some of my strokes and things. So, in this other example, you'll notice the middle, the fill is white, and then the stroke is black. So, let's go ahead and try and attempt the same thing. So, right here, I'm going to go ahead and turn the stroke black, and the fill, we're going to go back to white. And there we go. We have it. And I went for a very exaggerated look. Really not too difficult. So I have this, and I have my fill at white. I have my stroke on black. And then I actually go over here to the stroke window, or go up to Windows and hit stroke. And then I'm going to just change it and go ahead and increase the size. Really simple little effect, but as you can see, it's fairly effective. Now, let's go ahead and shrink that down a bit. Let's do another text box. Actually, you know what? I'm going to just click and drag that downward, holding Alt. Makes a copy. And I don't need it nearly that big. Let's delete it. Go back down to maybe a 18-point font and say by Nostra Pholumpus. Whatever. Again, it was the name that I just made up. And it really doesn't look that good with that big a stroke, so we'll go ahead and bring the stroke down. And maybe bring it up one more. I'm just being picky at this point. So, we're going to go ahead and place that wherever we want to. Now, one thing you'll notice in the other example that I did, to help it out, what I did is I faded into this white, just to kind of help the design out, make it a little bit more readable, and just kind of like help the eye flow back up to that child that's obviously having a huge brain freeze. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull out this tool. It's the Gradient Feather tool. Really kind of a nice tool. I mean, you can just click and, let me see, go back up to color, or actually window. So what you do is you take, we need to actually create a rectangle first of all. So with this rectangle, let's go ahead and drag it out right there on top of the baby. And we're going to go and we're going to make the, I'm going to go ahead and say the stroke, I'm going to turn it to none so there's no black on the outside. But then for the fill color, I'm going to go ahead and just leave it the white of the paper. And that's exactly what I want. You might be like, okay, Sam, you're crazy. It's just kind of put over it. And that's fine right now. It's exactly what we want. But with the Gradient Feather tool selected, what we're going to do is we're going to click and drag downward. Actually, I lied. We're going to drag upward. And you'll notice what's happening is all it's doing is allowing a feather to happen on that particular item. So, what We can make it as dark as we want. All I'm doing is dragging upward on there. And again, if I do it just really tiny, you'll see like a little tiny bit of a feather. If I make it go up higher, it's going to be more dramatic. Basically what it's doing is right where the I click is where the white, or where the full 100% starts, and then the end is where the full 100% ends on that side. So let's go ahead. It's going to be totally white down there and all the way up into the top. Actually, a little bit too much. There we go. Now, the other thing you might be saying is, what in the world, Sam? Now we're kind of writing over the text, and that's okay. All we need to do is click on that, and let's go ahead and move it down. We're going to go to Arrange, right there, and we're going to go Send Backward. I'm not a big fan of clicking it over and over again, so I'm just going to hold the Command button down and do the bracket. So Command, bracket, bracket, and there we go. Now if I keep doing it, it's actually going to put it below that picture, so don't go too far. And now with Nostradamus, oh that's right, I forgot. This one I had actually arranged on the other side. So let's go ahead and put it to the left side, and this one, we'll go ahead and arrange it to the right hand side. Right there. And I'm going to go ahead and hit enter, and then enter, just kind of help that particular title just kind of flow a little bit better. And there, we'll put it down on top of that. Move it over just a bit, kind of space it away from that white, and we'll do the same thing with Nostradamus. And there we go. We have a title page, Baby in Pain. Actually, I don't know. I think I had searched not baby in pain, but a baby sneezing. It makes a little bit more sense when you say a baby sneezing right there. Anyway, so let's go ahead the next page, because we're going to leave this one blank. But we're going to click and drag out, and right there I'm going to copy that text and paste it in here. Now with this one, it comes with all the pre-formatting. That's another thing I wanted to show you. When you copy and paste from one place to another, it will keep all that formatting. You notice how it's all on the right hand side aligned that way, and it still has the stroke on there. So let's go ahead first of all, the stroke, I'll turn that off, and we'll turn the color back to a black, and it looks like normal now. Also, let's go ahead and do this, center it, and maybe increase the size just a bit. So we're on 48 font. How about a 60 font? You know what? Go big or go home. Let's go 72. There we go. And same thing down here. We're going to take the Nostradamus and copy and paste him over. Let's go ahead and take off the stroke. Turn it back to black. And then just center him. And that's about it. I'll leave that small too. Actually, you know what? Let's make that just a bit bigger. So, you're seeing it's really not that hard to make it look fairly professional or whatever. I don't know if you guys really have a problem with me looking professional with this and really hate on me, just tell me in the comments. So, Philampus. Yeah, I got that wrong. I gotta select it all and make it bigger, not just the U. By Nostradamus. And anyway, the bottom part wasn't anything fancy either. All I did was, I said, published in New York. Yeah, printed by Publishing House. It seems like everything is always printed by Publishing House. So, printed by, I don't know, Samtacular Screen Printing. And I actually need to zoom in so you can see what I'm doing. And where was it printed? Let's say New York. New York. And then copyright, let's say 2015. This is a book of the future. I actually traveled in time to get it. So now I do want the copyright symbol, so an easy way to go there. Type, go down to Insert Special Character, Symbols, and Copyright Symbol. Bam. There we go. Right there in your face. So I'm going to go ahead and take this right here. We're going to center it. And I also want to space this out just a little bit more. So, coming in here, It was, I believe, nope, that wasn't the one. It was the AV, I'm forgetting which one again. Sorry, my bad. 150. No, that's just stretching it out. Oh, that's right. Okay, so right here. Now these ones is the different indentations and things like that. So, nope, not that way. It was the, nope, not that one. And again, trial and error is your best friend. One of the good things about this is really just kind of trying things out. Oh, that's right, between the paragraphs, the before and then the after paragraph. What it does is it treats each one of these, because I hit enter, as different paragraphs, so an easy way to do it. There's other ones that I could do into spacing and things, and different paragraph styles, and we're going to deal with that in just a second. So, anyway, just spacing that out. And there we have that page. And I'm going to go ahead and break the video one more time, and then we're going to deal with paragraph styles and things of that nature. So, anyway.